Hello! What a nice weekend. Were you able to enjoy what a sunny weekend we had? I was in my garden a lot, admiring all the flowers that have been popping out, but I've also been keeping busy transplanting things now that the weather's officially changing and it's almost springtime now that it's March. It's officially March. So I am pretty sad to say that I did lose some. Some might come back. I'm not counting on some of these to come back at all. It got way too hot, and that's the problem with these kinds of greenhouse. They're not really able to control a lot of the humidity. So I've been keeping it open, and I have some new seeds starting in here, but I just have to be very careful on how much I water them. I've even put these ones outside because it just gets a little bit too hot in there. With as warm as it's been, the seeds don't do really well. But you can see I've transplanted some out, and I'm experimenting with some of the straw to kind of keep the humidity in there for the tiny little plants, because there's a few in here. I just don't want them to die off too soon. This is some bok choy. And then I have some onions or shallots. I don't remember which one these are gonna be. And then I planted a few more in here too, some onions or shallots. But you can see some of them might come back, but the soil was just too dry, as hot as it's been. It's just kind of all part of the experimental process. My lemon balm is doing really good. If you rub your fingers on it, it does smell like lemon. And my strawberries have little flowers on them. So things are doing good, even though things are doing bad. This was another bok choy transplant. I even have this whole other one full of onions over here that's a little bit more in the partial shade, but it's all an experiment. I bet you're not ready to see what this one looks like. Oh my gosh, look at that bloom on there. And the exciting thing to note about these flowers, that whole thing looks like the flower, right? But fun fact, just one of these, that is the flower. So a bunch of little flowers make up one flower on this agave. Isn't that cool? So the birds and the butterflies come up in here, get the pollen and get the nectar, and then they're off. Isn't that beautiful? Some other cool things that are going to be blooming in the yard here with all the mixed succulents and some other flowers that I found. Look at this really pretty one. You see that color? So pretty coming off of this. It's a really soft, I don't even know, it's just growing really well right here in this mixed jungle of succulents. More of these yellow ones that will soon be blooming here. Isn't that cool how they kind of cluster out as well right before they bloom? And another one that I found this weekend, just here today, one of the first blooms off of this succulent came off. Isn't that cool? There's gonna be some more yellow. Yellow seems to be the color in my yard, huh? Look how pretty. You hear that crow back there? It's saying, enjoy your week, happy March. Now that March is finally here, we're anticipating spring.